to your Daily 5 for Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. Like a lot of people, I would guess, I grew up with or people of my age, I should say, so 40s or so, probably grew up with at the time, worldwide sensation of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And also the Turtles were, as far as I can remember, some of the first things I drew when I was younger and kind of realizing that I could draw things and had a love for art. And so I remember drawing the Turtles all the time in all different, notebooks. I mean, many times in classes where I got in trouble, that type of thing. So I followed them over the years. I love the original comics, the black and white Eastman Laird comics. I remember watching the cartoon, of course, like most people. The movies, I like the first one. The rest are, just more of a celebration of prosthetics and animatronics than they are good movies. But I've watched them over the years. And, the recent versions, I haven't really hated any of them, but they were pretty much targeted, I think, far younger than my age demographic. So nothing too memorable, but I like the fact that they always stayed around in one way or another. A lot of things that were big character-wise have gone away from that time period and just stayed away. I mean, you don't see a modern version of things like, Max Headroom or Mask or G.I. Joe even. They haven't really stuck around the same way that the Turtles have. So I've always been happy that they've been around in some way or another. And they've had some great video games. In fact, Shredder's Revenge came out, last year? And is a great beat-em-up game if you haven't played it. So when they announced the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem movie, I remember watching the trailer, and I thought, okay, well, it's a neat art style, but it looks like it's trying to imitate the Sony Spider-Man movies. I really thought that's what it was. And I assumed it was going to be aimed younger than I would be interested in. So I looked at it and I thought, it's neat looking, but I probably won't watch it. Forgot about it for a while, and then it came out, and I started really reading these really great reviews of it that said that it works for any age, that it's a really great revitalization of the Turtles idea, and that it's a really fantastic-looking movie. So the more I read about it, I watched some clips, and they looked really good, and they looked really different from what I thought that they were from the trailer. I mean, trailers don't always tell you stuff, but I just kind of thought I knew what the look and the motion of the movie would be from that. But then watching the clips, I thought, no, this actually is kind of carving out its own identity, and I thought it was a neat look. So based on that and the reviews, when it came out on digital, I thought, you know what? I want to watch this movie. I want to see this. I'm actually excited about the Turtles again. Let me watch this. And man, it is a fantastic film. I actually called Lando after I watched it, and I said, I think your kids are going to like this better than the Spider-Man Spider-Verse movies, because it works really, really well. And it's just a dynamite movie. That's all I can really say about it. So I'm not going to give you anything here that most reviews already haven't. I think it's a sensational Turtles movie. Probably the best one up there with the first live action one in terms of, the Turtles outside of the comic books, which I still think the original black and white comics are so good that I would tell anybody to read them. They really are fantastic comics. But for people who don't read comics or have watched some of the more recent Turtle stuff and not necessarily fallen in love with it, this might be the thing. This might be it. And I'm speaking probably more to older audiences. Younger audiences have probably accepted, because I know that there was one cartoon that came out fairly recently that was pretty well received. I think that was aimed at kids. And that's fine. I don't need all the stuff for all different properties to be aimed at me. I'm just saying that for anybody like me who's maybe skimmed over the recent Turtle stuff and gone, oh yeah, well, it's good that it's around, but it's not really for me. This is great. This is, again, all ages. I don't think there's any, there's humor that skews older, there's humor that skews younger, but I think it's a fairly universal film in terms of who's going to enjoy it. As long as you like the Turtles. If you like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in any way, or at least think the concept sounds kind of fun, then you're going to have a blast. The soundtrack is outstanding, not only in terms of the score, but the actual songs that are used. There's really great voice actors all over the place, including probably one of my favorite casting decisions, which is Jackie Chan as Splinter. The fight scenes are well choreographed, maybe because Jackie Chan was involved. I don't know the specifics. I assume this is going to get a good physical release at some point, probably with some commentaries and behind the scenes, so I will look forward to finding out whether I was right or wrong in that guess. But really, I would tell anybody that you're going to have a good time with this movie. And visually, if you're into the visuals, if you're into the art style of a film, this is going to be a blast. It's this really interesting, what I would describe as kind of a mix of colored pencil and highlighter, almost like notebook scribbles that came to life. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful film. It works really well. And like I said, it's just great to see a new Turtles film that I can completely get on board with. So watch it as soon as you can. Later.